Yes, and what did you say about ecotourism?
That it is a travel to a place of interest with the aim of not impacting the place negatively.
Okay, that's good. Any other person who can remind us of what we said about ecotourism?
We talk about different types of ecotourism. For
Yes.
example,
Yes.
we have natural ecotourism.
Yes, nature-based ecotourism, community-based ecotourism. That's nice. At least we can remember what we did in our previous session. And so today, we are going to talk about emerging trends in tourism. For that reason, I want you to start thinking of emerging trends that you know in tourism industry. Right, just please, so that just think about it. You can note it down in your books. So by the end of this session, you should be able to identify emerging trends in tourism and explain the challenges of emerging trends in tourism. So I asked you to think about emerging trends in tourism. Have you written a few of the emerging trends in tourism? So can you just stand up? Stand up. I want you to move to your partner and see what they have written. Move to your partner and see what they have written. At least you move to at least two people, so that you can see what they have written and add it to your list. You can even ask them to explain briefly to you, so that you understand what they have said. Have you moved to two people, Sharon? At least two people. I want you to have as many as you can, so that we discuss them together. Once you are done, you can have your seat. You can have your seat. Now I'm starting with you, Sharon. Give me one emerging trend in tourism that you learned.
We have sustainable and responsible tourism.
Sustainable.
And responsible tourism.
Magirono.
Wellness and health. Wellness and health.
Wellness. Yes, Moses. Virtual tourism. And lastly, Carmen, space tourism. Solo travel, this is whereby nowadays people just prefer to travel alone and enjoy leisure on their own. So you find that there is a lot of health and mental problems. So somebody just decide when they are stressed, they want to be in a lonely place just to relax and enjoy. And then there is space tourism. Somebody mentioned it. Space tourism, people now want to explore. You can see people are even going to the moon and all that. That is another emerging tourism. There is personalization. People want a situation whereby their needs are personalized according to their own preferences and needs. There is also AI. I see somebody wrote about virtual tourism. You know what this means? You don't have to go to that place. You get to experience a place from your comfort zone. You don't have to go to Masai Mara to experience wildlife there. You can just be in a place, then you enjoy the virtual tours. That is good. Can you clap for yourself? So we are done with our first planning outcome. Let's go to the next. Explain the challenges of emerging trends in tourism. So in this case, I want you to do two groups, Pamela and Moses, and then Sharon and Maggie. So I want you to explain some of the challenges of emerging trends in tourism. You know that every good thing comes with a challenge or a side effect. So I want you to at least discuss some of the challenges of emerging trends. For Moses and Pamela, I want you to discuss about high cost and cyber security, those two challenges. And then for Maggie and Sharon, I want you to talk about limited skill workforce and over-tourism. So you will tell me how there are challenges tourism. Are you done? Are you done? So Moses, can you explain to us how high cost is a challenge of emerging trading tourism?
High cost might hinder tourists from purchasing tour packages.
Yes.
Yes, so it's a challenge.
Okay, it's a challenge. So when it comes to high cost, think about implementing these technological advancements. It comes with high cost. So that is the best way to explain high cost. Implementing these changes becomes very hard. For you to apply the technological changes, you have to train your workers on it, you have to purchase these items, and it is very costly. Sharon, can you explain for us of tourism?
Over-tourism is it is a situation whereby so many tourists move to a destination at once, and then they affect the way the flora and fauna in that destination live, and they chase them away and affecting other resources in the destination.
Yes, that is true. When you are explaining over tourism as a challenge in emerging trends in tourism, think about it. Once you advance your destination using these new trends, most tourists will be in a position to prefer your destination, and that will lead to over tourism. So that is the best way to explain that. And then now, Pamela, can you talk about cybersecurity?
For cybersecurity, I can say fraud cases have increased.
Exactly. Fraud cases have increased, and a lot of people are being caught, especially including the tourists. And there is also that hacking of people's systems and accessing information. So there is no data privacy is not handled well if these trends are not handled well. And finally, Sharon, can you explain for us limited skill workforce?
When we talk about limited work skill, limits manpower. For example, there are few institutions that I can say they are limited institutions for these people to gain the knowledge about tourism.
Okay, that's good. When you talk about limited workforce, it can be explained in two ways. Number one, you realize that most of people are not trained on the use of, let's say, emerging trends like virtual reality. Most people are not trained on that. So there is no skill. And then the other thing, introduction of these things, like you heard of robots, things like robots in hotel industry. There is no need to hire waiters now because they'll be using these robots to do service and all that. So these are challenges that coming up with the emerging trends in tourism. So I want you to think about what we've learned today and write it in your books in 10 words. Think about what we've learned today and write it in your books in 10 words. 10-word sentence. In 10 words. So are you done summarizing our session in just 10 words? Because I'm gonna point at least 2 of you to just come here and explain to the class what we are reading. In 1 second. Who is ready? Or I just point out. Who is ready? Okay, Moses, can you come at the front and tell the class what you learned today?
Okay, good afternoon. So today we learned about emerging trends in tourism, of which we looked at in the trends in housing. We said like there is what you call sustainable tourism, there is virtual tourism, there is mass tourism. Those are emerging trends, and we will also explain how to adopt how they are implemented into how technology is implemented to integrate the emerging trends. Thank you.
That's good. Clap for Moses. Clap for Moses. Another person. Next person. Next person. Maggie, can you come forward and tell us what we've learned today? And after Maggie is done, the 2 of you, Pamela and Sharon, you're gonna ask her a few questions.
Good afternoon, class. So I think today we learned that in tourism we also have factors and we got to have strategies that we can use them to at least boost our economy. And as well, we have learned that in tourism also we have new trends that maybe we can use the AI to help our guests. Then maybe other AI to maybe receive our guests and make them comfortable in our stay.
That's good. Pamela, one question 10 marks, and I would like you to submit it as a hard copy on 29th of this month. Make sure you submit your work because it's part of your part 1. Otherwise, have a lovely day.